Alright, guys, today we're going to talk about finding your place in the art industry. Or basically, how to find your art journey, how to see where your niche is going to take you, your art niche. And that could be illustration, or it could be concept art, or it could be, comic book stuff. It could be, maybe you have like a doodle type of art style. Maybe you can do children's books. Maybe you have a really rough look to your drawings, and basically you'd have to find out what you'd want to do first when it comes to finding your niche is find out what you like to do most. What is your style? What do you always find yourself drawing and painting on your free time? That's probably the first thing you want to do. First off, you want to start with your fundamentals. I know no one wants to hear that, but you really want to do your best to make sure your fundamentals are strong. And we're talking, perspective and value, color theory. And again, you don't really need to know all of those, but, when you want to beat out the competition, that's, why not learn that? And, it just takes like a couple of years, and I know that sounds like a long time, but I've been learning the fundamentals for a good strong 8 years. So it's, for me, that's nothing. I wish it just was like, a couple of years, but some people are going to learn it faster and some people are going to learn it not so fast. So that's the first thing, is learning the fundamentals. But the second is finding out where you landed when it comes to your art style. And that's kind of what it all comes down to, is your art style and what type of art you want to do. And we're talking about getting to a place where you're getting a job, where you're getting a career, where maybe you're getting commissions to use your art to make money. And that comes with what type of art you want to make. I'll tell you a little bit about my art journey and where it's taking me. I initially wanted to do concept art. That's kind of the thing that really interested me about art. Initially, is just learning the fundamentals. So, I started with the fundamentals, of course, but the goal was to be a concept artist. And when I learned how iterative and how many changes you have to make with your concept art, and how it's all dependent on like the art director, and it's a very collaborative thing, well, for me personally, that kind of turned me off. And so I decided, it's kind of like when someone goes to college and they're not really sure about what their major is going to be, or what their, what career they're going to go. They're just basically pressured by life and society and their parents and all that, you know what I mean? And whoever's like fronting the bill, right? So that's kind of what happened to me, is I was forcing myself to decide what I wanted to do with my art. I knew I liked to draw, I knew I liked to paint, but I didn't really think about it too much. I didn't really look at the industry as a whole, the concept art industry as a whole. And not that I don't like it, and not that I'm not knocking it in any way. I'm saying it wasn't the right match for me, because I like to do illustrations. I like to do finished illustrations. I don't want anyone to kind of have a lot of input, or keep asking me to do it this way, or keep asking me to do it that way. And mind you, a lot of concept art is a bit rough, meaning it's loose, it's not very finished, not all of it. Some are, but that's more for like promotional art and whatnot. But for me personally, I like to do illustration that's just more on the finished side, right? So I decided, what, I don't want to do that. And then so my journey kind of took me to wanting to be an illustrator. And then also maybe even wanted to do like comic book covers and things like that. So I really started to get my anatomy and my dynamic anatomy down, and just getting my painting down a bit. And then my art journey basically decided, at the end of the day, I decided, you know what? I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Or at least let's hold off on that for a little bit. I think it was around like year 4, year 5. Like I was already years into it, deciding, just studying and trying to get better. I was already doing little shows here and there, like, little conventions and stuff like that. But I decided, like, I wasn't good enough. I had to get better. So I went back to the drawing board and studied more and tried to get better because, the competition's insane out there, right? And I started following a lot of artists who do commissions. That's just how they make their living, is they do commissions. They'll just draw, whether it be fan or just some type of idea, and they'll do these commissions. And that's their job. Like, that's their job, their daily job. They'll wake up and just work on commissions all day. I was like, oh my God, that's a dream, So I decided I was going to do that. And I was gonna go to conventions, and I was gonna sell my art that I do on my free time just for fun. I was gonna sell that, and then I was gonna use that to basically make money at the conventions, and then also get attention to where they can say, okay, can you do this, and get commissions off of that and live off of that. But that didn't happen either, because I was like, no, I don't. Not that I don't want to do that. I would still love to do that. But I just kind of knew that wasn't how I was going to do it, how I was going to make it. So there is actually something right now in my life where my art journey has taken. It's kind of, I saw a fork in the road and I decided to go a certain path. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't want to share too much because I don't want to jinx it, because everything's going my way. So, but that's kind of what you have to do. And you have to realize that there is a place for you, but you're not going to decide that, year 1, year 2, year 3 when you're studying this. You really have to. Sometimes you will, but for the most part, again, it's like everything, like, with people going to school, like, you're just going to change your major. You're just going to be like, you know what, I decided that's not for me. I'm going to go this way. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to basically look at your art, what you want to do. What kind of art do you want to do? What kind of art do you find yourself doing all the time? Do you love? And then find an industry where you can use that. And like I was saying, like whether it be children's books or, concept art or storyboarding for movies, or there's so many things you can do where you can take your art or your art niche. And a lot of people think like, oh, there's not a place. There is. You just haven't looked deeply enough. I'm telling you, there is a place for your art. Or where you can. Maybe you'll be a tattoo artist. Maybe you like to design certain things, or maybe you like to do realism and portraits. Well, maybe you can do that. There's sometimes you have to make a compromise, though, where it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I didn't see myself doing this, or I didn't see myself doing that. Well, do you want to, have a career in art or not? Again, it's your art journey is not going to look how you initially thought it was going to look. But I'm telling you, in the end, you're going to be so happy because it's going to be something you decided. And I think you are going to be so much more fulfilled knowing that it was you that basically made that decision. And I'll be honest, sometimes it's not really a decision. Sometimes I wouldn't say it's a compromise. It's something where you kind of just found yourself in, and you're like, oh, this works. You know what I mean? This is going to work out for me. But at the end of the day, you won't be doing the job that you're doing right now. Maybe that isn't in art. It's going to be doing something that is in art. And then later on, you can decide to change it up again. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time.